Welcome to the Barreto family. We are on our way. We are so excited. We are on our way to the next meeting for the Operation Christmas Child project. And we just got the address. We actually had the wrong address, so thankfully we were able to contact the person in charge. We got the address. We are headed there. It says we'll be there in about 25 minutes. And this is the first meeting. Usually there are a couple before you get given the boxes for your church. And so this meeting is called a vision meeting. And the goal of it is to hear about the vision of Operation Christmas Child and to start to understand what they require of us. And so we're going to head there, and you need to have the principal pastor and the children's director. So we've got pastor and children's director, and we are headed there. We're going to see what we're able to film for you guys. And we wanted to take you guys on this journey. You guys send the boxes, but once you send them, you don't necessarily know what happens. And so we want to give you guys a bit of insight into what happens with those boxes, what we have to do as missionaries or as pastors in order to be able to use them, and just take you through the whole process. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way, as we post videos, we're going to walk you through every step of the process, from getting the boxes to using them, all of the materials, things like that. And so if that's something that you guys are interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that when we post more videos about this topic, you will make sure that you get them.
Bueno, entonces la misión, y la idea es que nos la aprendamos. Dice así, está escrita en 5 partecitas. Primera parte, demostrar el amor de Dios de una manera tangible a los niños necesitados. Segundo, junto con la iglesia local. ¿Quién es la iglesia local? ¿Cierto? Y por eso hoy invitamos pastores y el líder de ministerio infantil para compartir las buenas nuevas de Jesucristo. ¿Por qué somos pastores? Porque somos cristianos. ¿Por qué asistimos a una iglesia? Porque tenemos una labor y es compartir, hacer discípulos a todas las naciones y predicar a todo el mundo. Cuarto punto de la visión. Nuestro trabajo, nuestro énfasis es discipular niños. Ese es nuestro énfasis. Quinto, multiplicar el evangelio y el discipular. Muy bien, entonces, ¿cuál es nuestra estrategia? Es evangelizar y multiplicar. Decía la pastora que los niños que estamos aquí presentes lleven el evangelio a otras generaciones. ¿Por cada cuántos? 20 niños, un maestro. Entonces, si su iglesia va a solicitar 100 cajas, ¿cuántos maestros necesita? 5 maestros. ¿Qué costo alguno? Todo es totalmente ¿qué? Gratuito. Ya alguien pagó. Miren cómo es el amor del Señor. Entonces, nadie puede venir a usted a cobrarle. 1770 iglesias hicieron parte de la temporada anterior en OCC.
Okay, so it is a couple days later. That meeting happened on February 3rd. I apologize for the lighting. I'm actually in our patio because I just put Eliana down for bed, but I wanted to give you guys a recap of what that meeting was all about and what our next steps are. So that meeting that you just saw a few clips from was called the Vision Meeting. And the idea is that we as pastors or missionaries, when we ask for the boxes, when we apply to get Operation Christmas Child boxes, there's a list of a few things that you have to agree to and a few meetings you have to attend. So that meeting was called the Vision Meeting. And really the gist of that meeting was that it gives us an idea of the heart of Operation Christmas Child, what their vision is for these boxes. And so throughout that meeting, we got to hear kind of their order of what is important to them as a ministry. And one of the things that's important is that these boxes are for one child, one box, one time in their life. So the goal of this is to reach people that have never heard the gospel before, people that have never received an Operation Christmas Child box before. The goal is not for us as churches to take those boxes and give them to our church kids, to the kids that already hear about the gospel on a weekly basis. It's really to use them as an outreach to bring more people to church and to reach more people with the gospel. So that's the general heart that they have for what these boxes are to be used for. Well, we are filling out an application and we will turn this in next week. And the hope is that they will grant us the number of boxes that we've asked for. But in order to send them that application, we have to agree to the heart of their mission. We have to agree that we're not going to sell the boxes, that we're not going to misuse them or give them to kids that have already received boxes before. And so that's something that we make the agreement with them to do. One of the questions on it is, why do you desire to participate in OCC, in Operation Christmas Child, this season? And another question is, what do you plan to do with the gift boxes this year? And so you have to really have the same heart that they do in order for them to give you the boxes. So we are going to turn that application in on Monday. It's Saturday night. Hopefully we will get it turned in on Monday, and we will hear back from them soon about whether or not those boxes were granted. We do get to ask for a particular number for each age. So we get to ask for how many boxes we need for 2 to 4 year olds, for boys and girls, for 5 to 9 year olds for boys and girls, and for 10 to 14 year olds for boys and girls. And so we based it on the kids that normally come to our Saturday Kids Club. So on a weekly basis, we typically have anywhere from 50 to 80 kids at our Saturday Kids Club. And those are mostly boys that come to the Saturday Kids Club. So we are asking for more boy boxes than girl boxes. And they're mostly within that 5 to 9 and 10 to 14 age. We don't really have a whole lot of 2 to 4 year olds. So for instance, on our sheet, we've only asked for 5 boxes for the 2 to 4 year olds boys and 5 boxes for the 2 to 4 year old girls. And so the hope is that we'll get granted those boxes. I will say the last time that we applied, they did not give us the exact number in the exact age group. So I think a couple of years ago, we applied for 100 boxes and they granted us 100 boxes, but they didn't have the stock to give us exactly what we had asked for. So they gave us different age groups, and we did end up having to give some of the older boys some of the boxes for the middle age group. It just happened that way, that's what we had. But we are hoping this year we are getting in a little bit earlier. The last time we applied, we were on the very end of it. We were kind of jumping in after the initial applications had already gone through, and so we kind of got the leftovers. This year we are with the first group of people applying, and so we're hoping that they have more boxes in each of the age groups and that we'll be able to get the ones that we've asked for. I will say though, I want to wrap this video up, and they did give us a little brochure, and so I want to tell you guys what we are going to be doing. Our goal throughout this is to give you guys a really good picture of what happens once the box leaves your home. What happens once the boxes get overseas? How do we apply for them? What process do we go through? And everything that happens, because there's so much behind the scenes that I don't think everyone realizes. And so Operation Christmas Child says that there's 6 steps. And I'm going to tell you what those 6 steps are. We are going to make videos for each of these 6 steps and more, because what Operation Christmas Child in this brochure doesn't take into account are the planning meetings behind each of these things. So step 1 was the vision meeting. That's what you guys just saw in this video. We had to go to the vision meeting and the application. So we are sending in our application. We went to the vision meeting. That was step 1. Step 2 is to attend a training. At this training, we need to take 1 person from our ministry for every 20 boxes we've asked for. I believe we're going to end up asking for 150 boxes, because we talked to kids today at Saturday Kids Club and got a good idea with the 80 kids that normally come and the people that are going to be invited. We're thinking it's going to be close to 150. Now, if we don't use all 150 boxes, all that happens is we return them to Samaritan's Purse. You do not keep the boxes that you don't use. You return them. Sometimes they let you do a second party, is what it's called. So we might do the original one, and if we have 120 kids and we have 30 boxes left over, and if we have the ability to reach 30 other kids, then they typically let us keep the boxes. If not, you just return those 30 boxes and they give them to another pastor. So we have done the vision meeting and the application. The next step, step 2, is the training for Operation Christmas Child. And we need to take 1 person for every 20 boxes. So for 100 boxes, we needed to take 5 members of our team. asking for another 50, we need to take 3 additional members. So we need to take a total of 8 members from our team, from our ministry team, in order to get 150 boxes. And they have to be trained on how to use the materials, and we'll cover that in another video. Step 3 is the planning and the day of receiving the boxes. And so that would be like a class on what all we need to do in order to give out the boxes. So we attend another day of class to get trained, and that's when we receive the Operation Christmas Child boxes. After that, number 4 is that you hold your evangelism event. And we here in Columbia, we call those parties. And you have a huge party, you tell the gospel, you give them the boxes, and then you give them an invitation to come back the next week. So we'll talk about that again as we go forward. That step 4 is to do an evangelistic event. But in order to plan that evangelistic event, we have to have multiple meetings with our team of 8 to plan what we're going to do. So this has so much to it that doesn't even happen in these 6 steps. Step number 5 is after you do the evangelism event, what we call the party, you then go through 12 weeks of discipleship using curriculum that Operation Christmas Child gives you. And after those 12 weeks, whichever kids complete the 12 weeks, you have a celebration and a graduation, and they get a Bible. And so we're going to go through all of those 6 steps. If you want to see what happens as a missionary, as a church in a foreign country, what happens with your box, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that as we post these videos, you're going to see step by step each of those 6 steps and anything extra that we need to do to plan for those 6 steps. But make sure you subscribe so that when those videos come out, you guys get notifications that they're there and you guys can follow along with us on this journey. If you are interested in hearing a little bit more about our ministry, about what we do as missionaries, you can click on this video and it'll have a little bit more information. But we are excited to go on this journey with you, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.